Let's talk about group work. Is a form of witchcraft and can be done by anyone, can be done by your own family members or people you don't even know. When they do group work, the main reason is to steal your abundance, steal your energy. So sometimes what happens is you see someone who's like used to be very studious or very successful, is very talented, suddenly they lose interest in their job, they lose interest in their studies, and they are stuck in a low paying job, minimum wage job, and are essentially exhausted and more negative. So when people perform more rituals like that, their goal is to get you to self-sabotage, because at the same time, not only do they want to, out of spite, they want you to not be successful, at the same time they're trying to steal or are stealing your talent. And these rituals have existed for many generations, and some of the celebrities out there are also practicing it or paying for it, so that way they get the talents from the victims and the people who have been targeted. More than often, they seem more stressed, more exhausted, less successful than what they're supposed to be. Sometimes you will see them as like, this person has such a bright future ahead of them, such a talented person, could be a good singer, so on and so forth. And suddenly you lose interest. So when they do this, the physical sign is, more often than not, they will attack your sacral chakra, so your abdominal area. So the victims, okay, you will feel stabbing pain in your abdominal area, sometimes like needle-like pain, or that is just general pain. And then when you go to doctor, they can't diagnose you with anything, so they will just pass it off as food poisoning or things like that. And you, the family members, you will see the changes in them. And if you leave it be, the personality change will be drastic. Okay, sometimes they will stop working, they will just drop out of school, or will stop pursuing whatever hobbies, whatever their passion is, and they will start having financial struggles, like one crappy job after another, and they will perform poorly at work. So for my case, the colleague from India that was practicing mandram, Indian voodoo, right? I was actually chatting with a Filipino colleague who I thought was very smart, and you can have good conversation with him because you learn a lot. While I was talking, I randomly had stabbing pain in my stomach, randomly one afternoon, just like that. And it went on for a few months. So didn't go to doctor, but you can't keep going to doctors, right? What else can they give you? So one thing led to another. I decided, let's consult a healer. And I was told that lady was trying to do destiny swap because she was attacking the sacral chakra. So to steal your energy. That's the reason why I was wondering to myself, why all of a sudden I was exhausted more than I usually am, and I started losing interest in doing the work. I still did the work, but I'm not as enthusiastic. And I started noticing that the other team members, they generally also get more drained, more exhausted, kept coming late. The pattern is there, or they will call in sick, like I can only come, I'll take half day off and things like that. Because when they do all these rituals on people, the targets will get very exhausted, because energy, when you lose energy, you get more sick, you get more exhausted, you lose your passion in the things that you have interest in. And when they do rituals like that, it will depend on what they want to attack. Sometimes they just want to attack your career, they want to attack your finances, or they just want you to stop studying because they are envious of your education. And other cases, they do it to sabotage your love life. So for those who are suffering from like blockages in their love life, in general, you'll be single for a very long time. If you're lucky, you meet somebody who's more spiritually awake, that person will tell you the truth in your late 20s, in your early 30s. But for some of you, sometimes it goes on to your 50s, your 60s. And such rituals are just practiced by anybody who is low vibrational. Sometimes the guy likes you and he knows that you're out of his league, and he's jealous and envious of the fact that you can pull somebody better, so he decided to do rituals on the girl. So the girl, the female, her life will generally go down the drain. And if it's done to a man, the same thing, everything will go down the drain. And these people sometimes they be like a walking zombie, whatever you call that. The same thing happened to the head road food and market center lady. She was a victim of the stepmother's Javanese voodoo. Usually when you're under heavy witchcraft, you're in a negative state. Doesn't mean you harm people, but negativity can be in the form of you're more sloppy, your hygiene is not as good as it used to be, your hair is in a mess, not because of the weather, you're generally more exhausted, you're too stressed out. Sometimes the mind is so fumble and jumble because they keep attacking your crown chakra. You overthink a lot, you have a lot of unnecessary worry, unnecessary fear, you self-sabotage, you're more fearful. Drastic change, and the people who knows, and all out of spite, simply because they're jealous. They can even be married, happily married with kids, wealthy. You know, that colleague from India, she came from an elite background, high caste, very wealthy. Always brag about not having to work, that she only works to make friends. She only start working because she was bored. And yet still jealous and spiteful. You know, I don't know whether I shared this on YouTube before. People already show you who they are. They already tell you what they have done or what they're going to do. I remember she told me one day, I pray for you at 2 a.m. and I pray for that other colleague at 2:30 a.m. I was thinking to myself, why would she say this kind of stuff? Oh, I'm spiritual too, I'm into astrology. So what's your birth hour? And how foolish enough I gave her my birth hour, because I was like, yeah, well, I'm born at this hour, this timing or whatever. So what happened is, because we work in the administrative part, right? So you have access, you can find people's full name. So they have your full name, they know your birthday, and they know your birth hour. So she was telling me, oh, I can go back and calculate. And she made this face. So the next few days she came back, she said, oh, we have the same life path. We are both meant to be leaders, with that face. Then she looked at me like that. Body language really show you. Because these people, they cannot hide it. Usually when people are fake, you can tell it in the eyes, you can tell in the tenseness of their lips, the tenseness in their shoulder. The body language is there. And then she also told me that she prayed, she was thinking of me at 3 a.m. Then I was like, what? Why are you doing this kind of stuff? So anyway, one thing led to another. Found out a lot of things. Apparently the company that I worked at, a lot of them were practicing. The people there were toxic. So they were low vibrational. And what do low vibrational people do? They always end up doing black magic. I'm going to give you the gist of it. So naturally the environment in the department was very negative and became even more negative. It was okay for a short while and then back to square one. And then some of the team members will say, I don't really like the office there, I'd rather go to the other branch, because something about that just doesn't make me feel good. It's just very, very negative. And that was because, according to the medium, that toxic lady actually placed a talisman in the office, and I couldn't find it because apparently I don't know how she managed to access. Been moving it around. So when you look at this when you search in one drawer, you can't find it because she kept moving it around. Because she knew I was told by the medium, she knew I was told by the psychic medium that she knew I was trying to find it. And prior to that, sometime before that, I saw, when I came to the office, there was a sand in a circle, not a perfect circle, on the floor of my where my table was at, and fingernails on my table. Immediately her name popped out because the intuition already tell you, right? But I was still making excuses. Oh, why is the cleaner? Why did the cleaner didn't clean? Or why the night shift staff they're making a mess? And I kept thinking to myself, I worked there for quite some time. Never once did the night shift people make such a mess. And if it was like a muddy shoes, footprints, there'll be footprint right from the door. Why is it only at my cubicle area? So, office job, IT company, people with bachelor degrees, master degrees in computer science, they still practice voodoo because they're low vibrational. Don't care about your education level, don't care about your background. It's just about your frequency. Low frequency, you get jealous, you get greedy, you get lazy. You want to, in general, the people in the office, right? Not all of them are lazy, but generally most of them don't perform well at work, lie a lot, gaslight a lot. It was very abusive environment. They mentally abuse people, emotionally abuse people, they gaslight people a lot. In general, it's very negative. So that's the reason why when I consulted the medium, I was told that it's best to live in long term because it's the people. It's not going to change. It'll be okay for a while, it will be back to square one, which is back to negativity because it's the people. And I remember I had this ex-colleague, she told me that she has bad experiences, energy-wise, spiritual-wise. And it was because of her manager. She started dreaming of him, and she had dreams of him trying to intimidate her and things like that. So apparently this is what happens when people practice witchcraft to control the team, to control the subordinates, sometimes to even control the management. And the best solution is to leave. I chose to stay. Initially I wanted to quit, and then I got persuaded and I stayed. The best solution was to leave. Because these people, they are generally low vibration. They don't care if they mess with people's health. You see it, we can see the behavior of the team members. They are more exhausted, more negative. The performance were affected. Generally, some of them get easily confused and then become more negative towards one another. Simply because some people are just spiteful, and some of them want to climb higher without putting in the effort. And another thing, this is nothing to do with spirituality, this is just to do with boundaries. Don't think because you work hard that you're going to get rewarded at work. Because from what I've observed, some places, right, they will promote people who can't work because they need those who will do the work to remain in that position so that they have somebody to do the work. I've observed other places that I worked at as well. Those who are genuine, who are hard worker, they never get promoted because the managers above them will sabotage. If you don't partake in their gossiping, if you don't, you're not as cliquey as they are, if you're not like them, sometimes they will sabotage you. Because the toxic people are like that. They twist and turn words around. Covert narcissists, right? That's what they do. So in general, protect your energy. Read whatever prayers you know of that can cleanse your energy and cut any energy cords. Spiritual buff doesn't have to be expensive. It can be something as simple as just a handful of Himalayan salt or a handful of sea salt, as natural as possible. Table salt is okay, but it's best if it's as natural as possible. Just mix it in warm water, and then you say some prayers or just bathe. That's it. You can do Reiki healing, crystal healing, or you can bathe in the ocean in the hottest time of the day. Just dip yourself in the water, or spend 5 to 10 minutes under the sun, because nature naturally knows how to transmute energy. That's why some people, they make fun of tree huggers, because trees are also able to transmute. They naturally know how to transmute energy. nature can heal you, but we've been programmed to think that it's all like mumbo jumbo, it's hippie stuff. It's not. And in general, when you are under heavy spiritual attack, or if somebody has done work on you, evil eye or whatever, you find that you hardly go out when the sun is out, or you barely spend time in the sun just to go to your work, and you only get less than 5 minute exposure of the sun. And that's because this negative energy, they are naturally they don't like the sun, because the sun is naturally healing. The sun not only heals you, actually gives you energy. Something as simple as that. You can do grounding work, like barefoot on the patch of clean grass, and just stare at the sun. You can close your eyes and look directly at the sun, because you're charging your third eye. And your bare feet on the ground, you're actually cleansing your energy, returning the negative energy to Mother Earth, and the Mother Earth knows what to do. You can always feel it. I have some ex-colleagues asking, why I worked in many places before, I don't know why it wasn't this bad. I used to work at places that were so far away, I can still go and hang out and travel and eat good food at other places. I wasn't this exhausted. Even I was questioning myself. I used to work in restaurant jobs, right? It's just physically exhausting. You have a lot of permanent injuries, a lot of scars and things like that. And I still wasn't as exhausted as I was working in the office. Because why? Physically, they were mentally abusive, verbally abusive. They lie and manipulate. They gaslight a lot. They gatekeep a lot. They intentionally lie because they want to cause you confusion, so that you don't know the work, so you get confused and you end up doing more work that you're not supposed to do. They won't tell you the structure of the company properly. They won't tell you the protocol properly, because they just keep lying. But they will tell the upper management, oh, everything is okay, blah 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 blah, things like that. So physically, this is what they do. Energy wise, they are stealing your energy. They're energy vampires. So you know what happened when I did the return to sender, right, or cock cutting and all that. The other lady, because there's actually about two of them, I'm not too sure about the rest, but there's two ladies and one guy. Actually, that guy was under witchcraft by the first lady, the one that was I pray for him at 2:30 a.m. And I was told by the psychic medium that it's because she was jealous of him. A married woman in her 40s with 2 kids, jealous of a guy in his 20s. Anyway, that lady has a lot of red flags. She's definitely a narcissist without a shadow of a doubt. She's an attention seeker. She actually regularly talked badly about her daughters. She was being abusive to her daughter as well, and she would brag about how she would beat her daughter up, how she will put her daughter down, and at the same time praise the son to sky high. The son can do no wrong, but the daughter is horrible. And she will say things like her daughter wanting to commit to unalive herself, and she show no remorse or concern, because she used other people's suffering to seek attention, to get attention. Got to a point where she say things like, I don't like this guy because he didn't give me any present on his birthday. And I was like, it's somebody else's birthday and you expect to receive gifts? Initially I thought it was a cultural thing, like your birthday you bring things and things like that. Then come to find out, she just wanted attention because she's so spoiled. She came from a very, very spoiled background, well-to-do elite background apparently, and doesn't know what hard work is, only know how to lie and manipulate, because this is generally what people who are lazy will do. They don't really work. You don't have to be, by the way, you don't have to be rich to be spoiled, because eventually the other guy, the guy that she did rituals on, he eventually did rituals on the other team members too, and he did it to make us chase him, to make us, he wanted us to like him and be in love with him, things like that, to ask him out, to chase him for ego boost. And another thing to point out, all this ritual, black magic, whatever it is, it can only go through if your vibration has lowered. That's the reason why the guy he mentally abuses us, he lie a lot, he gaslight us a lot, uh, a lot of manipulation, all to cause us stress. When you're under deep stress, you get depressed, you get exhausted, you get burnout. So what happens when you're mentally drained? Your energy lowers, your vibration lowers.